Hello, I'm Refashionista Sherry, and it is September 14th, 2023, so that means it is my 50th birthday! So every year I have put out a video on my birthday, and it's like a mishmash and hodgepodge of topics, so I'll link the playlist down below for you. But I thought this year I'm going to let you guys decide what I should do, and I put out a poll, and you chose, of course, that you want to see more of my wardrobe, but not only that, also hear maybe some more of my wacky adventures from my behind the scenes of my life. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, I have an extensive wardrobe, so first I'm just going to do a really quick kind of show and tell. So here is my vintage dress collection, and it lives on my awesome upcycled ladder wardrobe storage thingy-madooey that I made. And up here we have a lot of my spring and summer clothes because it's still very hot here. And here's where I keep my favorite t-shirts. Here's where I keep my vintage slips and camisoles. And there's just some of my shoes there. Oh, right. Over here, there's some belts that hang neatly there, and some of my accessories. And of course, you know, my lovely hat collection, some of my bag collection, and over here, more accessories. Oh, and I keep all of my nail polishes in these nice little boxes here, and all of this stuff that you see is probably found in my tutorials for the nest, right? Like how to make these out of placemats, etc., etc. Over here is my lovely vintage vanity with more DIY accessory storage here, and here, and here. Oh, and here, my sunglass storage, and there's some more hats, and look, my lovely was once a spoon rack, and now it holds my necklaces, and there's some scarves, and whoop, there's some more scarves, and oh, here's the dress I made to wear on my birthday. So if you're watching this on September 14th, I'm probably wearing this and doing something, hopefully, fingers crossed, exciting, but can open the closet now, and oh my goodness, it's pretty packed. I am definitely not a minimalist at all. So on this side I have like dresses, blazers, jumpsuits. Here's a bunch of blouses, and on this side there's some more blazers and jumpsuits. Up there's more casual stuff. Down here and back in there I have more shoes and boots. It's just yeah, not a minimalist here at all. But you know what? Let's get to the proper show and tell. So even though it's my 50th birthday, I thought you guys might want to get yourselves some groovy gifts. So I shall link down below to all of my amazing Refashionista goodies, like my very cheap ebooks, my Refashionista boxes, my wardrobe Refashionista services, my online shop where you can shop my closet and get some of the items I don't want anymore, as well as some of the fabulous things that I have made over the years. And let's not forget that my epic Refashioning 101 e-course can be yours for 50% off with the code REFASHION50. And that means that it is less than $50 for this massively, fantastically wonderful course that I have put together for you guys. And bonus, it'll definitely help me pay the bills. Let's start off with this absolutely phenomenal vintage 70s or 80s toweling lounge set that I have on. I scored this last year at the thrift shop, and it is so comfortable, and I wear it all the time because it's got very deep pockets and it is super comfortable, and I can mix and match it, but I love styling it the most with a vintage scarf. So on this side of my wardrobe, I actually have trousers, and I hang up my trousers kind of by theme, if that makes sense. So this is like my shiny glittery ones. Of course, we need to have some super sequin gold sparkles and shiny silver, and then rainbow sparkles as well. I adore these trousers. They're like very, very lightweight, and they're kind of like pedal pushers, but they are so super comfortable, and I wear them all the time. And of course, I'm sure everybody remembers my amazing lace bell bottoms that I created. And anytime I mention a tutorial, you know, it's going to be linked down below for you so you can go make whatever it is yourself. And of course, I have just a pair of basic black trousers. These are kind of that 80s, almost like a velvet type, and they're definitely 1980s going by the tag here, but they're so comfortable, and they have pretty deep pockets as well. And anytime you see me in black trousers going up and down the stairs showing my outfit, this is them. These are like the only ones that I wear. Next, I have some very, very sparkly skirts here. This one was actually a too short skirt and a too tight maxi skirt that I combined into this amazing skirt. And again, tutorial will be down below. And then there's also this one here that began, whoops, I'm losing things, that began life as a dress, but it was backless, and so that was not cool. So I transformed it just into a skirt, and yeah, it's awesome. But you know what I just noticed? I think my child has been in here playing with slime, and because of course I don't wear this often, I just noticed pink slime on my sequin skirt. So yeah, I'm gonna set that aside and figure out how to get that off. And some more very fancy skirts here, metallic, of course. This one is actually a gold scuba material skirt, which is so cool. And this one here, I've actually had for over 20 years. I got this when I was living in Japan, and it's definitely been stretched out here. I think I need to redo the waistband on this one. Okay, this next one, I've had it for years, and I have yet to wear it to any big occasion or anything, but I have been known to just kind of swan around my house wearing it. And it is this amazingly gorgeous chocolate brown thrifted evening gown that fits me like a glove. But of course I couldn't just leave it as is, and I had to stitch on this stunning sakura patch, and I did it with my doodle stitching, of course. Now some people might be like, oh my god, you wrecked that dress, but I didn't. I made it into something that I will actually wear now. This one I actually got to wear as a Halloween costume, but I love it so much. It is so pretty, and I'm pretty sure this was like a 1960s, maybe early 70s bridesmaid's dress. I was a fairy when I wore this for Halloween, but it's just too beautiful, and the workmanship is just too awesome to not keep it. And what I did do with this though is when my kiddo was little still, and she was losing her teeth and she believed in the tooth fairy, when I went to put her money under her pillow, actually we didn't do money, we did little presents and little fairy stickers and stuff, but anyway, I would put this on, so just in case she, you know, cracked an eye or whatever, she would think she was seeing a fairy. All right, we're finally getting to some of the dresses here, and I know it's a lot. Like I said, I just might have to break this video up into a few pieces because I got so much stuff. And I don't think I'll ever be a minimalist because I just love vintage things so much, and I love wearing stuff and expressing myself so much. So yeah, next. Next is this, and this is 100% one of my favorite festive holiday dresses. And again, it's very, very, very thick polyester. Once again, a handmade in the late 60s or early 70s. But look at the bottom. I think this was literally a blanket and then somebody sewed it to a top. But I love it. It's fantastic and it fits me perfectly. So why would I ever get rid of this one? This next dress is not at all vintage, but it looks very, very vintage, and I actually got it because of what I do. And the company that makes these, reached out to me and offered to send me one of their absolutely stunning tea dresses. And yeah, I will link that video down below because I show all the different ways that I styled it. But it's actually 2 dresses in one, and it's, again, the attention to detail and the workmanship is just beautiful on this. Here's another one of my absolute favorites, and this was so long that it was unbelievably long. Like, I don't know who could have worn this, but it was crazy long. So I chopped off the bottom ruffle, shortened it, and then I stitched the ruffle back on. But it's one that I can't really wear it a lot because it's too heavy to wear in the summer, but it's not heavy enough really to wear in the spring or the fall, and it's definitely not a winter weight dress, but I absolutely adore it. This is one that I thrifted online, and it is absolutely stunning. Look at those gorgeous sleeves. The collar, it's a house dress or a robe for sure, but I wear it as a beautiful maxi dress because it is very, very, very stunning. And when it arrived, it did have some little holes in it, so I simply patched the holes with some very, very cute little embroidered patches that I had in my stash. But it's just gorgeous, and I feel gorgeous when I wear it. I love vintage green anything. I don't know why, I just really do. So when I spotted this in a vintage shop on sale for only $5, I had to snap it up. It's just amazing. And it's got like a full zip, which is amazing in itself, but it's absolutely stunning. It is pretty long, so I have to wear heels when I wear this, and this is another one that definitely can't be worn in the summer because it's just so thick and heavy. Here is another robe that I wear as a dress because it's just fantastic, and it has pockets, but it is simply stunning, and the belt is actually long enough to wrap around my body twice, so that really helps to hold everything closed as it should be. This is another one that I scored for only $5 at that same vintage shop, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I wear this with my Cookie Monster faux fur jacket because the blues match perfectly, and it's just absolutely stunning. This is one that I actually got when I was living in Germany, and it was like €1. And it had a peplum around it here, so I simply chopped that off, and it's gorgeous, and it's a little bit snugger on me now than when I first got it, but with some shapewear, I can still get into it perfectly, so that's fine. This one is a Diane Fries from the 80s, and it's just gorgeous, and I actually wore this one on my 47th birthday, I think it was, and it's just beautiful. It is so long, and I love it. I really love it. It's so comfortable and easy breezy, and I can even wear it in the summer or in the colder months with, you know, a heavier slip or whatever kind of thick tights underneath it in the colder weather. So we're about a quarter of the way through from this one end here, so I definitely think I'm gonna have to do the closet stuff in another video. But hello, I think I really do have a style, and it seems to be bright colors and vintage, right? And a lot of long dresses. But that said, this is because we're at the long side. When we go over here, it's gonna be all the short stuff. But this one is gorgeous as well, and it fits me like a glove, and it's perfect for fall. And I do actually wear this, and I wear it out, and sometimes I get really weird looks in the supermarket, but you know what? I don't care because I look awesome. This super long, easy breezy, almost transparent dress was another fantastic vintage find in Germany for only €1, and it's so fantastically comfortable. I prefer to wear it belted and of course with a hat, but I have been known to just saunter around my house in this on hot summer days as well. So I was just thinking to myself, you know, I got so much stuff, and most of the time I'm just wearing it in my house because I don't really go anywhere. Unfortunately, I don't have friends. You know, the friends I do have aren't in the same country as me, sadly. So that's really sad, you know. And just thinking, I'm 50 years old, and I can tell you right now, this is not what I thought my life would be. And I'm really, really hoping and having all the fingers and toes crossed that 50 is finally going to be my year. Everybody share my stuff, get me out there, help me out. This is one that I actually thrifted when I went to Egypt when I was living in Europe. And it is absolutely beautiful, but definitely needs to have something underneath it. This is one I got for free from a swap, and it had massive 80 shoulder pads in it and these weird faux buttons here, so I got rid of those, and it's now just a really cool, funky fall dress for me. This is one from Tante Uschi's Schatzkiste, and if you don't know what that is, I'll link it down below for you. When my great aunt Uschi passed away when I was living in Berlin, she left me her Schatzkiste, her big treasure chest. She left it to me and my daughter, and inside was an amazing collection of dresses and linens and, you know, all from her life. And this one is one of my absolute favorites. Like, look at that tag. That is so phenomenal. Seriously, why don't they make tags like that anymore? Why? All right, now we're getting into a lot of the Germany thrifted vintage here, which is fantastic because most of these were just €1. This is another house dress, and it actually appears in, I think, my Delightful Dresses ebook, what I did to this and how I transformed this. Now, when I hang up my dresses here, like I said, they're all kind of in size order. I used to hang them up by color, but then we moved to this smaller place and I didn't have space to do that anymore because I needed one side to be long and then the other side to be shorter so I could tuck my shoes underneath. Here is a beautiful basic black number that I recently thrifted, and it was just lonely on the floor, so I had to get this one, and it was 50% off Dresses Day. You may remember this one because I recently upsized and refashioned it, and of course it is a gorgeous 80s secretary's style dress. And as I keep saying, links will all be down below so you can go see how I fix these dresses that I have so many of. Polka dots are another favorite of mine, and this was another dress that was in Tante Uschi's treasure chest, and it's just gorgeous. It is a bit big on me, and it does have a belt, but the belt's also too big for me, but I don't want to downsize it or anything because when I belt it, I really like how it kind of bells out on the bottom. And another one from Tante Uschi's treasure chest. And of course it is more polka dots because I think she was a woman after my own heart. And yeah, polka dots are my jam too. Okie dokie, this one here was another super duper cheapy find. And it was so cheap because all along the bottom it had holes. And so I just went ahead and I patched all of the holes all the way around with just a whole bunch of random patches, and it actually works and it looks so super cute. This is another one, oh my goodness, it's so heavy, that I got on that 50% off dress day, so you may remember it. And it's, I mean, come on, Halloween is coming, and I think I might just have to wear this one. But I do want to be a Barbie for Halloween. Maybe I'll just be Halloween Barbie. What do you think? And another amazing polka dot dress from Germany. And whenever I say from Germany, you can pretty much guarantee that it was €1 because the thrift and charity shops there were awesome, and they had €1 days all the time. And that's when, of course, I would go because I'm poor and I've always had a very low income. So thrift and charity shops have always really been kind of a savior for me. Not so much anymore, at least not in North America. The prices are going insane. But as you can see, I don't really need anything new for myself. And if I do want something new, I can just make it. So that's awesome. And here's another beautiful Diane Fries dress. And I really think these are just so beautiful, and the pattern mixing is amazing, and they always have some kind of funky, quirky detail. Like this has ruffles on the shoulders and these little neckties here. And they all seem to also have a shirred waist here, which I'm not such a fan of, but I just always cover it up with a belt. I actually thrifted this one online, and it came in like a big box of stuff. So I was very, very pleased because take a look at that secretary's dress from the 80s with the matching belt. This is absolutely stunning, and it could be frumpy, but I tend to style it with a lot of bright accessories, and then it's not so frumptastic anymore. This one here is one I thrifted a while ago, again on a 50% off day, and I call this my bumblebee dress now because that's what it looks like. So you know what, that would work for Halloween as well, but it is so super duper adorable and I love it so much. And all I had to do to this one was mend up a couple holes that were in it, so that was great. Okay, we're slowly but surely coming up on a dress here, one of the orange ones coming up, that has a very interesting story behind it. So stick around for that. And if you don't want to, it'll be linked down below as like, you know, the interesting story dress or something like that. So you can jump to that in the timestamps if you want to. So this is one that I made for Carnival in Germany, which is kind of like Halloween. And it was just a really simple, plain dress that I got, of course, for €1. And then I stitched these rosettes all around here, all around the cuffs, but also around the high-low hem here. And I went as one of the witches from American Horror Story Coven to the Carnival celebration that year. This one I thrifted for last Halloween. And la la, of course, it was the most perfect Wednesday Addams dress. And so I was, you know, kind of the blonde version of Wednesday Addams, the blonde middle-aged version. Here's another 80s special from Germany, and it's special. It is very, I don't know, Electric Dreams. If anyone remembers that, I'm really aging myself, but you know what? It's my 50th birthday, so I'm allowed to be old. Anyway, but it has like this here. Do you guys remember that from the 80s where it like puffed out on both sides? And this goes all the way around to the back here, which is awesome. And la la, this beauty I found in the trash. I am shocked, seriously, always at what people throw out, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And again, I just had to stitch up some minor rips that were like in the side seams, and it's perfect. Oh, of course, and I gave it a really good wash. This, of course, you remember, because I upsized the sleeves, and it came out so totally perfect. And I also had to stitch this front part because it kept popping open, but absolutely gorgeous. I really need more places to wear my stuff, right? Like, I need to be on TV shows teaching people how to do this, yeah? So maybe I'll put the links down below for some locally filmed shows, and you guys can write to them and say, hey, put Refashionista Sherry on your show. Let her teach everybody about sustainable fashion and how easy it is to refashion what you already have. I love this dress so much, and I actually thrifted it here online, but it is from Germany. So hilarious that whoever brought it from Germany then resold it to me, who basically is from Germany. But Anyway, it is another 80s special, and it has hugely deep pockets, which is just phenomenal. Just noticed that it is getting cloudier and cloudier and cloudier, so I hope the light is going to stay, even though it is, you know, swelteringly hot, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So this one I thrifted, I don't even remember what country it was, but I know it wasn't here. And it is just a really simple shift type of dress. And I've thought so many times to refashion it, but I'm really not sure. And it came with this rather funky chain belt here. So yeah, if you think I should refashion it, let me know. Let me know what you think I should do with this one. This here, I actually thrifted in Chinatown in London when I was living in London. So I've had this for a very, very long time, and I don't really wear it because it is very vintage and it's quite delicate. I just like looking at it, and I like feeling it because it's just so beautiful, and the workmanship is amazing. It's just stunning. I love it. I love it. This was another thrift from last spring, I believe, and it's a jacket, but I actually wear it as a dress, and it's so happy and sunshiny and bright, and it's of course perfect with my blue tights. This dress I call my funeral dress, and I haven't been to a funeral in decades. Actually, the last one I went to was when I was a child. But if I ever go to a funeral, I'm gonna wear this dress because it's just beautiful and it fits me so well, and it has these really cool details on the shoulders here. I just love this one so much, and I think it would be a good funeral dress. Okay, here is, whoops, the belt's coming off. Here's another awesome secretary style dress. I think I really need to make a video just showcasing all of my secretary style dresses and, you know, do the whole walk up and down the stairs thing so you guys can see them from bottom all the way up to the top. This one is so cool though. And again, of course it's green, right? Of course it is. This is another one that I thrifted online, and when it arrived, it had like a really super tight elastic waist, so I just removed it, and now it's comfortable, and I can wear it with so many different cool belts. Here is a glittery number that cost me $2. $2. I cannot comprehend how somebody could let this go for $2, but it's from a garage sale, and the woman just wanted to get rid of it, actually, and I was just stunned when she said, yeah, just give me $2. Yes, here you go. Beautiful. Like, look at that. Gorgeous. But again, this is the kind of thing that you'd wear, you know, to some classy joint, right? And I don't ever go to those places yet. It's coming up, right? It's coming up soon. All right, this one has been downstairs in my stash and brought back up, and again downstairs and brought back up, because I always think I need to refashion it. It's a dress, but it's also like a coat, but it's short sleeved and it's super duper heavy. And I'm really not sure what to do with it because it is so heavy, but it looks pretty darn good on. So I don't know. Here's another one. You guys let me know what you think I should do with this. The light's getting really weird. Sometimes my face just disappears, and other times, there it is, there's my face. This is one that I've had since Germany, and I actually bought it from Scotland when I was living in Germany, and it is my Scottish clan's plaid, and it came with these kind of annoying puffed sleeves, and back then I hated puffed sleeves. Now I love them, and I share how to make them a lot, right? Like puff sleeves and bell sleeves. Anyway, so I switched out the sleeves with these lovely velvet ones. But I really, really like this dress, and it has this adorable little bow on the back, and it's very cool. And I just love the fact that I have my Scottish clan's plaid. This set was one of the things that was left in the closet, in the very full closet, in the basement of the second house that we rented since moving to Toronto. We moved here in 2016, and since then we've lived in 4 different houses, again through no fault of our own. And yeah, I will link down below to those house tours for you. I still have to do the house tour of all the work we did in this one, and hopefully we won't have to move again because it's very expensive and we don't have that. So anyway, this was one of the cool vintage sets that was left in the basement. Like, the owner of the house just said, look, this is all my mother's old clothes. I'm going to chuck them out. Not even donate them, just chuck them out. If you want them, I'll leave them. I was like, yeah, leave them. And it's just gorgeous. And I actually wore this for one of my Stranger Things copycat looks. I got this beauty from a clothing swap that I did from someone that I met through Instagram before Instagram kicked me off because people reported my pride looks as being offensive. Silly. So I no longer have an Instagram account. I'll link down below to that whole fiasco if you're interested in learning the story behind that. It was crazy. Anyway, but yeah, it's very, very cute, and it's very, very busy, but I love it. But I'm just wondering if it would be better as a top or if I should leave it as a dress. I don't know. You let me know. Okay, this is one of my favorite dresses. And it is, again, a very heavy polyester winter weight. But just look, here, better on the back, look at that beautiful pink pattern. And it's like a dark gray, but it's just so sunshiny and fun. And the skirt is so swingy. I love it. I love it. This beautiful form-fitting little number here was another score for only €1 from Germany. And it is gorgeous, and it is super duper stretchy, but again, super duper heavy polyester. This so super 80s dress was another amazing swap score. And just, I mean, look at that. How perfect. How perfect. It's so, this just screams 80s, right? It just screams 80s. Drop waist, these fluttery tulip style sleeves, and shoulder buttons. You don't get any more 80s than that. Oh, and it like blouses out here on the top. And this is another one that made it into one of my Stranger Things copycat looks. This isn't a dress. It is a jacket, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I love it so much. It's a little bit snug, so I think I might have to upsize it with some nice black or red side panels. I'm not sure, but I can wear it open, no problem. But closing it up is a little bit of a challenge. Ooh, some of these hangers are very, very vintage, just like the dresses are. I have to have vintage hangers for my vintage dresses, right? You have to. This is another one that was in the treasure chest that I inherited, and it is so gorgeous, but it was a very awkward length, so I did end up shortening it, and it's just perfect now. But again, this is that heavy polyester, so even if it's a really cold day, if you sweat a little bit, it gets a bit whiffy in this area. I thrifted this one online when I was living in Germany, and when I saw it, when I was scrolling this vintage shop and I saw it, it was in the sale section, and I was just like, oh my God, that's so familiar. And it was so familiar because I had something so incredibly similar when I was a kid, and it was my favorite dress, and I wore it all the time, and when I was allowed to wear it, but mostly I had to wear it for my piano recitals. And then I got really sick of wearing it because I didn't like piano at all. But anyway, so I refashioned this so it more closely resembled my Lil Sheri's piano playing dress. This one, I don't remember where I got it. All I remember is that I made it into a Star Trek type of dress, and it was actually stitched together with something like fishing line, and it was like so horrible to try to unpick these seams because it was like whoever made it had used really thick, like a fishing line. It was so weird, thick plastic, and then each stitch was like knotted. So I couldn't just zip through with my seam ripper. I had to cut each one individually. Anyway, tutorial will be down below for this one. This is another one from the treasure chest, and it needed a lot of work, and I can still squeeze into this if I'm wearing shapewear, but you can see the absolute beautiful workmanship on this and on the sleeve cuffs as well. And it is lined. It's just, and this, I mean, that zipper is so old. When I have worn this, I'm always afraid that it's just going to come to pieces. So this is definitely more of a look at it, but don't really wear it piece in my wardrobe. And here is the dress that got chopped to create those bell bottoms from the start of this video, which I'm sure is starting to feel like it's going on forever. But anyway, I love this so much, and it was such an amazing score at the thrift shop, and I'm pretty sure it was some kind of like a bridesmaid's dress in the 60s or 70s, but now it's mine, and I love it. I don't know if you guys remember this one. I thrifted this more than a few years ago, and it's one of my favorite things to wear in the summer because it's so easy breezy, and it has, if I can find them here, I can't find them. Ah, there we go. It has pockets, and they're pretty deep pockets, which is just amazing. And it's just a really simple shift type dress. And voila, the one that I like just made. So you should remember this one, made out of curtain scraps and 2 pillowcases. Here is another one that I just had to chop the length because it was that weird length, and then I added this pretty vintage trim around the neckline and the bottom hem, and it is just fantastic. But again, it's another really, really heavy one, and this one, it has a tag saying that it was a uniform. So I'm just wondering what the heck kind of uniform could this have been, because it was like mid-calf length. So, and it has these belt loops on it. So I don't know. What do you think? What kind of uniform would this be? And we're getting there, guys, I promise. This here started out life in Germany, of course, as a very, very long sleeved, possibly bridesmaid's dress from the 50s or 60s. Like, look at those gorgeous buttons. And then I transformed it into a refashionista costume for Halloween carnival, and then I refashioned it again, and this is the result. And I put some funky spiders on there because, I mean, awesome, it looks so cool. And here is another one. This one was so full of holes, but I went through and I mended, can you see that, all of the holes with some weird embroidery that I tried to make look kind of like the paisleys that are on here. And it's pretty successful. I mean, it's concealed. You can't see it or anything, but it's another one that is quite heavy. So I usually wear this with thick tights in the winter time. This one here reminds me of that TV show Alice, if anybody is as old as I am or a Gen X like me and remembers that TV show. I think this really resembles their waitress uniforms that they wore, but it's so fun and bright, and I love wearing this one too. Okay, you guys remember a few minutes ago, a little while ago, I said I have a dress coming up, an orange dress coming up that has an interesting story behind it? This is the dress. And this is not the interesting story yet, so just give me a minute. So I thrifted this in Germany. Of course, if you've been following me since I started my blog, you should probably recognize this because I did a refashion where I chopped the bottom and transformed the bottom into these very, very funky sleeves. Okay, here comes the interesting part. And it's really interesting. And it's not a secret anymore, but I still kept it a secret because it's not out yet. But do you remember a little while back, a few months back, in the winter, I said, hey, I have an opportunity to be on TV. You remember that? Yeah. Okay, well, I can actually say what it is. And the reason this dress is involved is even though I sent them so many different outfit choices, they asked me to send even more because they liked my style and they liked my look. And so I sent them a few more choices and they chose this dress for me to wear on the show. And that show is Battle of the Generations. And I am a Gen X contestant on an upcoming episode of CTV's Battle of the Generations. Now, I'm not allowed to say anything more than that. Once I know my air date, I will absolutely tell you guys, and I already have kind of a behind the scenes type of video on the go. So when I know, you guys will know. But suffice to say, it was an absolute blast. And yeah, I'm the Gen X contestant on an upcoming episode of Battle of the Generations. Speaking of that game show, this is actually another one of the dresses that I had sent pictures of me in, and they didn't choose this one, they chose the sparkly one. But I basically did the same thing with this one. It was super duper long, and then I chopped the bottom and created sleeves from the bottom. But it's very, very comfortable. This one much more comfortable than the sparkly one. So I was hoping they would choose it, but no, they went with the sparkly one. And once again, yet another refashion that I did. And once again, it will be linked down below. But this part was on the bottom of this dress. I mean, come on, how can you hide those beautiful flowers on the bottom of this dress? Okay, we have this much more to go. And then I think that's going to be it for this edition of Sheri's wardrobe, right? Because holy man, this is a lot. I didn't realize I have so much. I do realize it, but then I don't realize it. But then I do, but then I don't. But I still love everything. Okay, this is another one that was very, very long. And so I just chopped it. And now it is just fantastic. And it looks so, 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 so cool. This is one that was in the basement closet of that house that I was telling you about before, and it was an awkward length, and it's very, very, very heavy, heavy velvet, but look at those sleeves. Gorgeous. And all it really needed was a chop, and now it is an absolutely beautiful holiday dress. Or hey, that would be a good funeral dress too, wouldn't it? It would. All right, this next one, somebody was actually selling online as a Halloween costume for super duper cheap. So I bought it, but not for a Halloween costume. This is like an original 80s prom dress. And are you kidding me? How fantastic is that? And it has a semi-open back, semi-open, so you can still wear a bra, which is great. And it is very, very, very short, which I actually love. I either like really long or quite short, nothing really in between for me, because I find it makes my short legs look even shorter. If it's kind of at that below the knee or calf length, it just doesn't work. But this is just beautiful. And look, it goes so with my eyes. Here's one that I refashioned a few years ago now, and again, it's another one that I'm pretty sure was a house dress or a robe, and now it's just a very, very cool dress for me. Here is another one that was from the treasure chest from Tante Uschi, and I am pretty sure it wasn't even hers because it was definitely made for like a giantess, for somebody at least 7 feet tall. It was crazy long. And so of course I chopped the bottom, but I didn't just chop the bottom. I did my doodle stitching in the same color thread that the embroidery is here. And I also had to shorten the sleeves on this jacket because they were crazy long too, but it's just very cute. A little shift dress plus a matching jacket now. And it's very, very heavy, which I don't really understand because it seems like it would be such a nice summery type of dress in these colors, but it's not. It's a very, very winter weight set. And stripes. And this one, I don't even know where this one is from anymore. I've had it for so many years, but it was originally one of those secretary's dresses with the matching belt. And so of course I had to shorten it. And now it's just a very, very cool shirt dress on me. And speaking of shirt dresses, those who have been with me for quite a while will probably recognize this one. And this is a shirt dress that I made years and years ago from one of my great uncle's very huge dress shirts. And yeah, the tutorial for this one is over on my blog. Alrighty, this was another dress that was in the treasure chest. And you can see it is totally see-through lace. And it was another one that was super duper long. And it did have a lining, but the lining, I don't know what it was made out of, but it was just so super itchy that I had to take out the lining, and I shortened it and then used some of the chopped bottom to create sleeves. But the best part of this dress is the back. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeously adorable? And this is from the 1940s. So it's another one that is very, very delicate. And I didn't realize how old it was when I was first cutting into it. But once I was told that, it's definitely received a lot of TLC over the years. And you surely recognize this one because I just refashioned it and added pockets to it. So yeah, and it's, you know, gonna get worn a lot, I think, this fall. Right now, not so much because it is so super hot still. So I think that's all I can get through today. I am sweating. It is so hot up here and the light from the window is dying and everything. And I gotta get my room, my bed here, put back in place because I'm 50. I'm 50 now and I gotta go to bed. This refashionista is hot and tired.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.